baby. Hello, everybody. Welcome back, Jets fans. Here we are, watching the playoffs again. Always a bridesmaid, never the bride. Isn't that our thing? I think we're okay now. We're feeling all right. We're getting our spring back in our step, if you will, right? Not so bad right about now. It sucks watching the games themselves, but I think every day that goes by, we get a little bit better. A little bit better, right? Is that fair enough? I know a lot of us are still hurting, and we start arguing a little less a few weeks after the season, a few things here and there, but it starts to lessen and subside, and we all become friends again, and we go, hey, who are we going to draft? You go, I hope we get a tackle. I hope we get a receiver. Yeah, I can see that. Right now, we're still kind of, amicable, workable, considerate of one another's feelings. Give it a couple more weeks, months, and we'll hate each other again because of, I want a receiver and you want a tackle, and that would ruin everything. Garrett Wilson needs help, whatever it might be, that's how we do it. It's, if it ain't the quarterback or the line or the coach or the GM that we think is the problem, now it shifts to this, and we do it every year. But that's what's so fun about being us, the Jets fan. Here we are. And guys, I'm happy you're here. Truly and sincerely, I am GreenBean, and this is episode 146 of GreenBean's Jets Pod. 146 straight weeks, and we just keep talking. I should say 146 straight weeks without a damn winning season, right? Without pride in the team. That's what we should say. Something like that. But that's how, look, that's just a blip on the radar, this 146 weeks. This is what it's all about. It's about the offseason for the Jets fan. And we are going to go into this offseason and try to restore some of the hope that we had for last season. Now, Jets fans are pretty good. We're relatively elastic. Can we say that? We're elastic. We're a little bounce back action going on in Jetnation. So it's one of those things, like we take as much, if not more, abuse than any fan base in all of sports. Okay, I'm not just saying football. Clearly, there's no denying in NFL circles, it's not that other teams aren't as bad as the Jets on a year-to-year basis. Of course, we haven't had the number one pick since 1997, so there's always at least one team worse than us, worse. But we're kind of, we take more abuse, right? We get kicked. Like, we got a story right now. We got a story out there right now. And then what's the purpose for this stupid-ass story, this comment? It's not even a story. Nothing's a story anymore. It's a blurb. It's a comment. A sentence. Somebody goes, I don't like the thing. Oh! And we go, he said it's being reported he doesn't like the thing. Oh my God, I can't believe he doesn't like that thing. Why doesn't he like the thing? Here's what's really going on the underneath reasons why he might not like the thing. Yeah, it's like what we do. We're freaking crazy. But it's not so much a story, but it is a comment. And it's just a stupid comment, in my opinion. And like, the dumber the comment, from my standpoint, I'm an old fella, older than some of you, younger than some, but older than most. Fair enough. In Jets fandom. So it's like you just kind of, you get this leathery skin, figuratively speaking. You get this kind of jaded, tough skin about you, but you also get this clarity. You get like you just can see. It's like, the whole read between the lines thing. My mother used to do it. Hey, read between the lines, buddy. And everybody go, what the hell is she talking about? And every now and then somebody go, screw you too. You know what I mean? Like, well, read between the lines. It's like, ah. So, well, you start to be able to do that. And it's like when certain things get said, you just, you go, really? Are we really going to respond to this? Is this, but in today's day and age, you got to respond because somebody else is going to. And if you don't, then you weren't first. And so forth and so on. And there was shit to talk about anyway, so we might as well talk about it, right? So we have this loser, and he's not a loser. He's actually very, very successful at pretending to be an idiot. Now, whether or not he's truly stupid, who knows, He's said some really ridiculous things. But this Colin Cowherd fella, Cowherd, Cowherd, it's not the best. But he says that Aaron Rodgers has a low football IQ. I mean, are we supposed to get upset? I mean, what do we do? Do we click on his stuff? Do we read? Do we yell? Do we fight with each other? Does anybody defend that position? Does anybody really think that Aaron Rodgers has a low football IQ? I mean, honestly, look at his statistics. Look at the length of time he was able to do it. The comments about him throughout his career. And let's look at it just a quick, an almost insignificant little nothing of a blurb from Hard Knocks. You remember? And when I think it was the Bucks that were up at Florham Park to practice for a joint practice this year. And the defense, the linebackers and backs are doing what they do. They creep up to the line. They want you to think they're going to run or blitz or whatever. And Aaron Rodgers just goes, "You're not coming, so you might as well just back up." Right? You're not coming. I've read this. I already know everything that's going on. I did my research. I know what your tendencies are. I can see everything by what we're doing. If you did that, it would be foolish. Therefore, you're not doing that. So just back up. He didn't. And then he didn't come. You know what I mean? And it's like, granted, that's one little practice play. But it shows. It's indicative of somebody who actually knows what they're looking at. Now, sadly for Jets fans, we have had quarterbacks with low football IQs. We've had guys, their actual intelligence aside, and then what about the game of football. What do we hear about all our quarterbacks? Whether it's Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, Sanchez, they're the first guy in, last guy out. They study their work habits. We hear that shit all the time. But everything's different. It's like that Mike Tyson thing, right? He goes, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Well, the same thing can apply to everybody knows what they're talking about until they say hike and have the ball in their hand and then realize that everybody out here would very much like to kill me right now. And I have to figure out what's going on to release this thing in the correct direction. All in 2 seconds. It's not easy, dudes. All right? It's not easy. So, even when, fans like us, we're out here yelling armchair quarterback in this thing, right? We're you can clearly see, I saw the film. Yeah, how many times have you heard me say that? I saw the film. I watched the all 22. I saw it. I slowed it down. I zeroed in. He had a half step and he didn't see. We do the whole thing. That's great. And it may be true. But there are very few individuals on this planet that can enter that realm and still think clearly. And we see that because how many first-round quarterbacks every single year do you see? We talk about his arm strength. We talk about his football intelligence. We talk about his mobility and his work ethic and his character traits. He runs a charity. He saves kittens. All the things that we talk about. He gets on the field and he sucks. Why? Because of the speed, the processing speed that you need to have. Aaron Rodgers has shown in not 1 year, not 2 years, not 1 decade. You know what I mean? Time and time again, over a 15-year of being a starter, that he is elite at that processing speed. That's the difference. You can put a big, hunk of beef out there, somebody's strong arm and everything, and they can get some stuff done here and but you can see it. They're going to get it. The defense will figure him out. The guy's stupid. Just bait him into this. He'll throw it. We pick it off. It's like it's easy to do. It's a mind game. So the comment, what is it really for? Is it really to try to say that Aaron Rodgers is really stupid? Is that what we're supposed to believe? Or is it one more shot at us? Is that what it is? Right? Because that's what it is. I stand firm. That's what it is. I maintain that the Jets fan experience is worse than any other experience in sports. Whatever you have as a fan base, bring it to the table. We will be able to match that and squash it. We'll match anything you put on the table and we'll have something to trump it. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what it is. Bring it. Bring it. The only thing is, what was the guy? There was a guy on the Lions years in the 70s that had a heart attack on the field and literally died. I mean, or maybe it was the Bears. Bears. Maybe. Long time ago. So there's stuff like that here and there, right? Of course. With Hamlin and so those are, but still, again, bring that to the table. We got something for you. And this comment is the same thing. So it's like, this is what we do. So we got to go into this offseason. The season's over. We get to watch, right? Now, thankfully, the Miami Dolphins, we saw them just get kicked right out, just like they usually do. Number one offense, number one seed, my ass. Get in the wild card, lose, and go home. And that's what they did. That's really nice to see. And they did it. They got blown out, which is nice. Then we got to see another thing that was pissing me off a little bit, was the Joe Flacco story. The Jets, right? They make everything about us. That's the whole thing. I mean, there were 30 other teams that didn't sign Joe Flacco. The Vikings didn't go get Joe Flacco, right? Nobody even, it's like the Vikings traded for a quarterback. We didn't lose any draft capital. They could have got Joe Flacco, but it's us. Why? Because he was ours for a little while, and, it's a whole thing. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's always about us. So it was nice to see Joe Flacco, the pumpkin, turn back into a pumpkin, threw some picks, one of them a pick six, and they lose. And that was nice. I like that. That made me good. Now, the Bills are still, when I'm recording this, they'll play later today when I'm recording this. So I don't know what's going on with them. I'm rooting against them, as you know. So at least we got to see some of that stuff, right? The Texans, I thought the Texans were, for maybe like 5 minutes, I went, maybe these Texans, I went into that game thinking there's no way. I mean, people were telling me, Texans, I'm telling you, Texans. I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, that's great. And if they win, great. But the Baltimore is they're seasoned. The coach is seasoned. The quarterback is seasoned. The team, they're a machine. Like, you're going to have to out-machine them. They're going to be able to withstand your emotional spurts. And they did. And then they just slowly but surely just started beating you up, jabs to the chin, a little bit to the body. They start the body punch. And your guard goes down. And they knock your face off. That's what they do. You know what I mean? And that's what they did. That's good. My wife is from Baltimore, so I get to pretend I can root for her. I don't, but I pretend. That's what I do. I go, I'm happy for you. I'm fucking miserable. That's really what's going on. I hate it. But, I do. I'm happy she's happy. Right? Of course. But I'm not happy as a football fan. So there's all those things. We get to see some of the stories go away, which are nice, but I'd really hate it if, look, the Chiefs steal Trey Dean. He's going to be their starting safety. He's going to get 2 picks. You know what I mean? There's always a way. It just never stops for us. It never stops. So what we need to do is have this friggin' season, this 2023 turd season, just go away. Whoever wins, just take the ring. Get out of here. We need this season to end, and we need to go into the off season, the real off season. Where are those important dates? All right, let's talk about that in this week's Intelligent Gripe. Where are we? What's the date? I don't even know. What is it? The 21st of January when I'm recording this. Right now, it is 12:07 p.m., January 27th, what did I say? January 21st, 2024. This life keeps happening. So that's where we are. So we got these days. Let's look at the calendar here. I'm going to go ahead, back it up. Divisional playoffs are 21st. Today, they stuff. We'll find out later today who wins these games, right? We know that the Niners eked it out against the Packers, who just shellacked the Cowboys. It's crazy. So the Jordan Love affair is in full swing. They're going to give him a big contract. He threw 2 interceptions in the game. So, but hey, first time, I think he did better than I wanted him to. Can we say it that way, please? Okay, that's how I'll say it. And then the 28th, we got the championship games. That's the furthest we've ever gotten. That's coming next week, right? We know that. And then you got the Pro Bowl on the 4th, and we got the Super Bowl on the 11th, February 11th. So then this season's over. Yay! We don't have to think about it anymore. Because look, it's like anybody can say anything they want about Aaron Rodgers right now because he didn't do anything. He hasn't played since 2022 season, man. I mean, he did take 4 plays, but you can say whatever you want. And that was a down year for him with the broken thumb and all that jazz. So it's very easy. And we just have to eat it. We have to eat the humble pie. We have to just eat it. It's just nothing we can argue it, but there's nothing. We have no ammo except for the past. We have an Achilles tendon torn 40-year-old quarterback who hasn't played in 2 years. That's what we're going to be trotting out there. That is a good, maybe. So I just want this season to end. So we got the Combine February 27th. That's an interesting one. So we'll look at that with bated breath. We love the Combine. We love to see all the athletes coming into coming out of college, and then they got the shorts on, and we like to see them show off their athleticism. How many times can you bench press? What's this guy going to do in the 3-cone drill? How fast is he really? And we make this the truth. Now, it shows a lot, right? But here's the thing I'll talk about with the Combine. It's a really funny thing to me every single year. Like, let's do this exercise as friends, okay, this year. Look at who we're talking about right now. Now, the Combine is February 27th through March 4th, right? So we got a little while. So pay attention to the end of January and February and see who we're talking about, who we like. And why do we like these guys now, generally speaking? Why? Well, we have football games that they've played. We've seen them doing their job. What we hope they will come to our team and be able to continue to do at a high level. That's what we're basing any opinions that we have on. We're all watching collected tape. We watch highlights. We watch breakdowns. We read reports and, draft reports and all the stuff. Right? That's what we do. So we go, this is my guy. We all do our mocks, right? We do our mock drafts, which, by the way, February 5th, another very important date for the NFL is that GreenBean's Monday night mock, the 10 o'clock mock, returns with Dom C and I on February 5th. So we'll be doing that. I think the first one, we're going to trade Bryce Huff, and we're going to see what it is. That's what we're going to do. We're going to see what that can look like. But we'll be right here on February 5th. But here's what we'll do. So we all got our guys. We're going to do our mocks. We're going to go, I love Fuaga in the first. I like McConkey in the second, if we get it. In the third, I like this tackle. He's a little bit obscure, coming out of a smaller school. And you do all that stuff. Like, for example, we're going to talk about just like right now, right? We got a guy at a Duke, Graham Barton, that we're talking about. He might creep up into the first. Who knows? Right now, he's kind of probably early second-ish tackle. So theoretically, you could get a receiver up top and wait till this. If you had a second, which we don't, by the way. But if we get one, if we find a second-round pick laying around, we can then get our tackle, Graham Barton, in the second, and chances are, so we have these ideas, and we got these guys, and we'll argue a little bit going into mid-February. It's when we start arguing. Watch what happens February 27th through March 4th. A lot of the guys that you now love for football reasons, they're going to have something go on in the Combine. They're going to be weak. Their measurements are off. They can't jump high enough. Whatever it might be, they're going to run a slow 40, and you're going to take them off your board, and you're going to switch, and you'll see it. Guys that are talked about as first-round picks right now, they're going to drop to the third, just like that. And you're going to see guys that we don't like, we're not talking about, Zach Wilson's of the world, and you're going to see them catapulted to the top of the first round, all on athleticism alone, not football. Athleticism. Now, sometimes it's very, it works, and I think it's very important, of course, but I always find it very interesting, the lopsided value placed on this one day, or at least for a couple days, but like this one episode of events, And who knows? Maybe he's a little nervous. Maybe he ran slow that day. A great example is DK Metcalf. Great example. There's so many, but just one that's popped into my head. He was being talked about as in the top 10. Okay? DK Metcalf. We all know him. Big, strong wide receiver. He runs an incredible 40. So good, in fact, he cried after doing it. He's like, I did it. Like, I did it, man. And then he went, and then he did the 3-cone drill. And he looked, it was very, very poorly executed. He looked cumbersome and sloppy, and he immediately got labeled as a one-dimensional deep threat wide receiver. He can't do anything else. He's not agile enough. He's not fluid enough to compete with NFL-level cornerbacks, and he dropped to the last pick in the second round. Just like that. Just like that. You think Seattle's pissed off that they took him? Mm-mm. You think if somebody would have taken him at pick 8, they'd be unhappy? Mm-mm. Shit, Corey Davis was a first-round pick. Who did better? In Europe, just talk to me. Talk to me, man. Let me know. Let me know what you think. So that's what goes on. So the combine's a big one. So March 4th is the end of the combine. Now, right after that, March 5th, the Jets, with every team, we have to finalize if we're going to franchise or put our restricted, our designations on restricted free agents and all that. Well, who do we got? So is this going to matter to us? Who do we have? I mean, look, we can talk about franchise and Huff. We can talk about, but it's not going to happen, franchising somebody like Bryce Hall. So look, if the Jets are really going to talk about, if this baloney, by the way, that the Jets are going to trade a DJ Reed or a Michael Carter II, which would be foolish. If you're going to do that, a guy like Bryce Hall's value goes up significantly, right? In the system for 3 years, very athletic, good, strong, good work, very good. He played in the Philly game, started, looked fantastic, right? He had that stretch there for us. And he's been the first guy. So maybe, but I don't see that. The two Bryces, Bryce Hall, Bryce Huff. Well, let's see who else we got. So the Jets, we have a nice crew of free agents, right? We got the likes of Carl Lawson, Dwayne Brown, Whitehead, Chuck Clark, right? Quentin Jefferson, Cobb, Zerline, Solly, Justin Hardy. We got some work to do, everybody. Al Woods, Connor McGovern, Billy Turner. And then we got the first of my restricted free agents. My love, my heart, Kenny Yeboah, everybody. Who, by the way, finally got in the end of the season because Uzoma's I don't know what happened to that guy. He turned into somebody who forgot how to play football and really just, his whole purpose is to just get penalties. He just loves it. He loves it. Remember we put him in for one special teams play. He got benched. He put him in one. He almost got a penalty. Late hit out of bounds. Like whatever. So we got Kenny Yeboah. How much does the team like this guy? I mean, he's been on the team. They drafted him, he was undrafted free agent in 2021 draft. And he's had an interesting, he's done very, very well special teams, right? He's gotten a couple things, in the offensive. But he hasn't done much. This last year, he was injured for most of the season, got in, played really well. During the Bryce Hall resurgence, the last few games when Hackett realized, holy shit, we have a good running back. And let me go tell the world that I didn't know that because I'm so dumb. So that once that happened, Kenny Yeboah was actually a pivotal part of that. He was in often, and he was really doing well with his blocking, opening those holes for Bryce Hall. So I don't know. Maybe they value him. I'd love to see a tender put on him. You know what I mean? I'd love to see them protect him in some right of first refusal at least, right? So something like that. So that's one. Then you got Javelin Guidry. We have exclusive rights on Javelin Guidry. Who knew? I don't know. Javelin Guidry's not my guy. He's fast. Tell you what, Javelin Guidry had the one game he really made me happy was against the Titans in 21. He took Derrick Henry out alone, open field tackle. I went, okay, buddy. All right. You get a little nod from me. Okay. Cause that's can't be, that's gotta be scary. Frightening. See Derrick Henry. He just runs people over for a living. And you're like 5'10", 5'9", whatever Javelin Guidry is. Let me see how tall this guy is. Hold on. Javelin Guidry's 5'9", everybody. So he's 5'9", running that Derrick. So anyway, but we have exclusive rights on that fella. Who else do we got here? So we got other guy. Trevor Simeon's a free agent. Morstead, Ashton Davis. We got to figure that out. Bradley and Bryce Hall, like I said. Zach Kuntz is a restricted free agent. And Xavier Newman. So we only got 4 guys that could apply to this year. 4. That's it. 4 guys. The rest are just free agents, and there's a lot of them, unrestricted free agents. So if we're going to use it, we got to do that by March 5th. Like that, I keep kicking my lights. That's what happens. So we got to do that. Then the big one, March 11th, is the tampering period. And this is what a stupid thing we call that. The legal tampering. The negotiating window. Right? The negotiating window opens for free agents March 11th. The clubs are permitted to contact and work out deals with agents of prospective free agent signings. Yeah. And then 13th, it all starts. So as we know, you can get an agreement on the 11th and they cannot sign with your team. A lot of people don't know that. Jets fans know that. Okay. A lot of teams are like, what? No, he agreed. We already know. You want to know what happened? Just come talk to us. Niner fans, whatever you are. Come talk to us, Raven fans. Nobody knows. We know. So that's how that goes. So then there's the league meeting where they're going to make new rules about how they're going to fine people for playing the game of football. They're going to tell us that he ran too fast. He's running too fast. Too fast. You see how the running back was past him and that guy caught him, which is not allowed anymore. Running too fast, 15-yard personal foul. They're going to call it the offense. We're of the offended. How dare he thought he was past you. You can't sneak. You're sneaking up on him like that. That's mean. 15 yards. That's when they start talking about all that crap. How are we going to ruin this game even further? And who do we want to win the Super Bowl next year? What does FanDuel have to say about it? DraftKings, would you like to weigh in? How could you make the most profits? Well, we would like to see the Jets have their face smeared in dog turds yet again. We're in. Woody, would you like that? Shit, I made $6 billion last year. I'm fine with it. All right, there it is. That's how it goes at those friggin' meetings. That is March 24th through the 27th. That's what we'll see. So then we got April 15th. You get the off-season workout, OTAs, organized team activities, workouts, things like that start happening. The free agents the restricteds got to sign their offers or not by the 19th. Then the 25th is the big one. That's where the Jets have the 10th overall pick in this year's NFL draft, being held in Detroit. That's good for Detroit. And so we'll see what the Jets do. The draft is a big deal. You may or may not know, the Talking Jets, we are putting together an actual live event for the draft this year. You know, we always do our online thing, which is amazing. We're going to do it live as well. So we'll be up at some place in either North New Jersey or Long Island, one or the other. We got all kinds of partners, and it's going to be great, dude. We're going to have a good time, food. You guys can drink, open bar. We'll do all that. the NFL. Let's see. What are the Jets going to do? Who do we like? Are we going to do a tackle? Now, I'll tell you what. It all depends, right? Like right now, we're talking about tackle, and the whole thing is, I'm a big fan of pretend, right? Like a fantasy. Let's play. I like exploring scenarios. Every year, somebody will tell me, well, this is all stupid because we haven't seen free agency. Technically, those individuals are right, but also technically those individuals are what we call party poopers. Grumps. Debbie Downers. Chill out. Let us play our games. We got nothing else to do. So yes, but once free agency happens on the 11th and 13th of March, then we'll know. Now the Jets got to come at this thing. In my opinion, let me tell you what I think. Okay. I think the Jets, number one, the wide receiver free agent class is significantly stronger than the tackle free agent class. So here's what the Jets need to do. We need to identify 2 tackles that we want. We want them. We will not take no for an answer, and we go and we overpay them. That's what you got to do. Okay? You overpay them. You can front load it. I don't care. Overpay them and get them in here. But you also need to do that with a wide receiver. You need to find one of these guys. If it's T. Higgins, Michael Evans, Tyler Boyd, whoever it might. Man, hey, go get T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. And Jonah Williams. Just steal them, dude. Steal the whole damn team. Who cares? You're not using them. So let's do that. Let's go you identify, prioritize 2 tackles, 2 wide receivers, and you bring them home before the draft starts. Why? Because you cannot have yourself pigeonholed into a desperate need in the draft. Now, 2 reasons. One is because that's where you reach, okay? When you start reaching for players that aren't, it's like you can do okay with that, but that's where you're likely to run into trouble. When you have a top 10 pick, but the next tackle is really a bottom end of the first talent, you are alleviating the value of having that top 10 pick. And a lot of time, that guy's not a top 10 pick, which should be designated for blue chips who can come in and impact the game immediately. He's not going to be able to. He's going to take a year, 2 years. Jets fans are going to hate him. We're going to call him a bust. We're going to fire this guy. You see what I'm saying? Does all sound familiar? Okay, that's what you do. So that's dangerous when you start doing that. When you're clear, when you have a need, you end up getting yourself into a scenario where you're likely to reach, which is bad. Number 2 is people can jump. They know if they want to tackle and there's one left and you're going to take them, they're going to jump you. We saw it last year. Whatever they said, maybe they didn't have Broderick Jones rated that high. Maybe. I don't know. But it's what happened, and I don't believe it. I think they would have taken Broderick Jones. That's what I think. But the Steelers jumped up with the Patriots. Designed, Bill Belichick said flat out, yep. Or it was Tomlin that said Bill Belichick was like, yes, I'll take pennies on the dollar to screw them. So there you go. So so I think the Jets are going to sign aggressively in free agency, wide receiver and tackle. If we don't, I'm going to be disappointed and upset about it. They got to do it. They didn't do it last year. Yeah, so, hey, you screwed yourself. You got to overpay. Pay the jet tax. You do it. You don't dilly-dally. You do it. You pay the extra 2.6 to get them in here, and that's what you do. You identify those guys, bring them in, and you go into the draft, and you draft Brock Bowers, the tight end. That's who I like right now. He could go into the combine. Everybody hates him, and he drops to a 5th-round pick. Who knows? Who knows? But that's what they're going to do. Guys, this is it. We're almost done with this shit season. We got to watch these teams. We're going to see Trey Dean. We got Dalvin Cook, 19-yard runs. Get out of my house, these guys. You know what I mean? Everybody out. I've had enough of the 23 season. We need to push reset on this damn game and start over. Guys, I'm happy you were here. Let's talk about it. Monday Night Mock. Thursday, thick of it. Talking Jets. We got tons of fun stuff coming. We'll see you there. Have a great week. And as always, go Jets.